Hello, everybody. Brian here, quantlabs.net. Today, we're going to go through some of the different exchanges. Are you planning to do any crypto at all, HFTPC, or what's your preference, Forex or?
Yes, definitely. As soon
Did
as I
you,
get this thing back from the developer, I'm doing that next.
oh, I see. So,
Yeah.
have you seen the rise of Bitcoin on Friday night?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I went through all you sent some emails out, and I was checking that out, but I didn't actually look at the account. But
Well,
I did see emails.
yeah, no, but it went up on Friday, 40% on
That's
Friday night,
40%. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and I haven't checked it since. But call it lucky timing for me, but that would have been easily like right here. You could see that spike right here.
Okay, wait a minute. For some reason, I'm not seeing anything. What is going? Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, I got to share my screen.
Okay, there we go. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, here. It always helps to do that. Can you see everything now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so you see the spike here, October
Yes.
25th went up, and it's kind of flatlined along here, but I don't like speculating what could happen, but I do think it'll spike again. This
Okay.
this I thought was just because, like, if you look at 5 day, that massive drop was because of Zuckerberg, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on Friday at some point, Z out of China endorsed the blockchain for crypto or for Bitcoin.
Okay.
That's what this where that spike came from. So it's all
Drove it
news
up.
driven, right?
Right.
But then you look at the day before of that spike with Bitcoin Cash USD,
Okay.
it had a massive spike, about 20%. So I don't know if you see my video on like why I prefer crypto over Forex. I just find it pretty hard to convince myself to go with Forex with a high commission fees, leverage needed to get these kind of returns I'm talking about.
Right.
And then here's a massive spike from 209 to 260. And then the next day it went up to 280. So when you break that down, that's maybe 10-15% move.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? And there's no
Uh huh.
leverage. There's no leverage needed for that.
Right.
So everything comes down to all the updated things that I'm seeing in the market. With Kraken, I had a lot of technology problems with sending out orders.
Okay.
So a lot of orders didn't get put through. And it's just because the technology, whatever, and their end servers, whatever, the API is not reliable. I've confirmed it like numerous times last week, and I just said, that's it, I'm done. I'm moving. I'm going to try out Binance, and then I'm right now trying out Binance US to cover guys like you for the US.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm taking away with that, Binance US is better than Kraken because there's certain coins on Binance US that you will not get with Kraken, and the big one that's really doing well or has been doing well is BNB. So if you go on BNB
Okay.
US dollar with Binance US dollar, if I do probably a month view, let's see here. So you can see here from March till this. This is where I made quite a bit between January and June. It was just it went from $8 all the way up to $40. Okay,
Wow.
so right now it's at 16. It's gone up to 20, and that's since about beginning of October. So it's already gone from about 14 to about $20. So it's gone up 25% in this month alone.
Okay.
So you will not get this pair on Kraken.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but the real pair that's doing really well is Link USD. Like it's doubled in price, and it's still performing really well. It's a new
Wow.
technology that Binance just partnered up with, and it's a big deal. You can see here from October, a buck 66 to 276. So it's already pretty close to doubling and
Gotcha.
again in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other big thing I like about Binance US because they have pairs on there that perform, but other pairs like on Kraken, they don't have that perform. And when you look at Coinbase Pro, which is US based as well, they charge like a 0.5% in commission, which is very high, whereas
Okay.
Binance is 0.1% or 0.01%,
Got you.
and then Coinbase is 0.05%, so they're 5 times higher. So
So
when
Binance is the way to go.
yeah, it is because the commission fees are very low.
Now, I have a question. Remember the we had the percentage of the different coins that you had. Remember the top 10?
Yeah.
So this link for this pair here has moved up.
Yes. Like if I
Okay.
give you, let's say, the daily, the intraday, you can see it's
Mm-hmm.
already gone from 266 to here to 280. So that's going to be, what's the math on that? That's about I don't have my calculator on here, but
The same
that's
number again? And I can
that's
make
about a
sure.
10% move just till today,
Okay.
roughly from
Two six
two,
two.
260 to 287. So it's roughly about 10% move just today alone.
Right.
And again, that's no leverage because when you look at Forex, you need to get a lot of leverage, probably 5, 10 times to get like a 1 or 2% move. Right
Yes.
here, it's low risk and no leverage. This is the powerful thing about crypto, and that's why I'm like kind of like, why am I putting my efforts into crypto? Whereas because crypto, it like on Binance, it's just there's so much more opportunity that I'm finding. So on my blog, I posted the list of coins that you can trade on Binance US.
Mm-hmm.
So let me pull that up. So yeah, and the commission fees are very, very tiny. You wouldn't even notice them. Like it's really a non-issue.
Plus, Binance allow you to short. That's you remember
No,
telling
it
me that.
doesn't. You can long only. But again, what do you need to worry about there? Because with with Binance US, the longing opportunities are there, not in truckloads, but a lot more opportunity there than anywhere else that I've seen lately. Like,
But which
go
I
ahead.
thought you told me that you could short it. Or, well, I guess not
I
then.
think you can through a margin account, but you may be highly restricted in the U.S. Exchange.
Oh.
Like I got to do a search. Like that's a good question. But you have to realize that Binance and Binance US are two completely different exchanges. Probably use the same technology. So let me just do US. This should answer that question. It is really possible to go short. Well, there is sort of. So it looks like there's some kind of. I think you got to do it through some form of a margin account. You can do it. Question is if they provide margin accounts on Binance US,
Mm-hmm.
because in my case, I'm not worried about shorting on any crypto because if you're forced to only do long, it makes you a better trader first, and you're always finding there is a way to just be, like, as I said, be a better trader. And there's lots of opportunities when you long. Let me see here. I don't see it. I'm sure there's a way, but you gotta do some kind of weird trading. Yeah, I don't know. So can you set up super deluxe bag coin at lower based signal sellers depending on what this bot will short your coin? I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure there's a way to do it, but it depends on the bot. But the question is, are they really doing shorts? But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can, like,
Okay.
out of box.
So you got to sit there and wait for the opportunity to arise, and then do your longs.
Yeah. Um, yeah, here you go. Is what I said about the Binance margin account you can short through. Long position, short position. So you can do that. But the question is, can you get a margin account with Binance US? Because if you can do that, then your answer is yes. Margin trading. Can you margin trade? Because there's Binance US is totally, as I said, totally different from Binance. But if you were on Binance, it looks like you can. Would report not be providing its margin trading services to customers for the US. So that's May. So that looks like it's not possible right now.
Oh, is there any brokers allow you to do that?
There's one, but a lot of the brokers are getting clobbered now. I think there was Polionex or Bitfinex that allowed you to do short trading, but I don't know if that's a good exchange to be on because a lot of these smaller exchanges are either getting spun off, closing down in a lot of countries, and they're just consolidating because the volumes are not there. But the growth and a lot of the growth is going into Binance or some of the other bigger Asian-based exchanges.
Got you.
But the one other exchange that's doing pretty good right now is Huobi.
Mm-hmm.
So, like right now, everything's positive that I'm looking at, and Binance Coin's up half a percent, and the Huobi coin is up 0.25%. That's right now.
Okay.
So, but BNB, as I showed you, that's a good coin to be trading on Binance US. Kraken doesn't offer that. Because of that, that's just a really nice coin to have in your abilities to trade.
Got you.
But let's figure out this business on Oanda commission fees. Commission is $5 per 100,000 units. Are you planning to do this size per trade?
No.
Forex trading costs. Here we go. Okay. Now, are you planning to do Oanda, or are you thinking of doing Oanda?
Oh, no doubt I'm doing that, but yes.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, yeah, it doesn't look in activity fees, bank wire deposits. Okay, that's financing fees.
I know you're going to get you on that end too.
Yeah, I know that's the hard part. They don't have that. I think there is commission fees on or transaction fees on transferring crypto, and depending upon what you're transferring, the fees can be, from what I've seen, about 1%. So it can get kind of hefty. But here you go. Commission per 100,000 per side, so $7, 100,000 units. So
I'm not controlling that many.
no, let's just see what the commission fee per. That's $14 per 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
So here you go. Trade sizes less than 100 will be charged a pro rate minimum of percent basically. Looks like both sides.
Oh, it's about 2%.
Yeah, yeah. So spread cost 280 times 140. So it's fairly low.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't look like it's a big concern, but it's about 1%. But with Binance, let me see Binance US, because that's something I'd like to know myself. So that's 1%, but I do believe I'm going to assume that it's the same in Binance itself. So yeah, so it's 1/10%.
It's even better.
That's what I'm saying. So it's 1/10 of what of Oanda would be, and that matters when it comes to your strategy too. And that's per trade. But you got to remember, you're buying and selling, and it's totally different from putting a position on in a broker.
Right.
Because you could buy Bitcoin today, and then you have that amount in Bitcoin, then you can sell that amount in Ethereum,
Gotcha.
and it's much cheaper because and you can lower it too if you have a bigger account, or I think they cut it in half if you have a bigger account.
Well, how much is a bigger account? How much is that has to be?
Let's see here. Current withdrawal fees. So everything's charged in BNB.
Right.
Fee schedule. Yeah, so there is the fee. So it depends upon your volume. So it depends. Yeah, it depends on your tier level. So it's 0.1%. Then it drops down depending upon how much you're trading. So if you're trading 11,000 BNB, it looks like it goes down to less than 0.04%. So how much is that? Okay, no, hang on. That's a maker taker. So let's say 11,000 BNB to US dollars. That would be to US dollar. So that's going to be $204,000. So I don't know what you're going to be. But even if you're at something like 200, 0.08% is not bad. 0.07% is not bad. And if you do it in BNB, you get further discounts.
Right.
So
it seems like.
Go ahead.
I hate to say this, but it seems like when I looked at all the different things that you were doing with Forex, or all the different pairs,
Yep.
it seems like it would make sense to get, especially with the looking at the bid ask ratio. You know, the one where you're saying,
yeah,
when the number
and the order book level. Yep.
Wow, that's really great. Especially during hours nothing's going on, that stuff is really starting to move.
Yeah, and if there's some market news that works in your favor, it moves really well.
But you still say Binance, huh? I mean,
yeah, because like for instance, I don't know how many positions, like when it was doing well on Friday, it was up to 80 positions in a day, and you factor in all those commission fees, all add up, and that's assuming that you're profiting.
Right.
So that's just my view, and I've got already 2 former Forex traders that were hung up on Forex, but they've been struggling profit wise.
Okay.
And they just see the advantages with the crypto.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I just do this thing then first.
What's that?
Then go to Forex. I'll just do the Binance first. Man.
Yeah, I just think that there's just like right now. Okay, I'm just going to give you what the percent moves are right now. So right now you got Bitcoin Cash up 2% in the last hour. Okay.
Right.
So if I go over to TradingView, let me just see that, and that's in US. We'll do a US dollar. Okay.
Before you stop, I just wanted to say this one thing. What I was going to do this was on multiple pairs in Forex, not just one.
No, I can track as many pairs as I want. Right now, my system has had for 2 days. How many positions? Just give me a minute. It's had 13 positions open since Friday or Saturday. 13. And they've only traded, yeah, that's it. But let me pull up the 1-day chart on the Bitcoin USD. But you can see it's very volatile, but when you pick up the next swing up from, let's say, 260 to 270, that's going to be, like, what's the percent on that? 20. That's almost a 10% move. And that's intraday.
Right.
So you got from 260 all the way up to 270 again. And you got two swings. And you got a smaller swing here at 262 to 270. That's more than a 10% move here to here, here to here, here to here, and that's times 3 intraday, and that's not including these ones down here, right? So give me well, actually I can tell you what is on the watch list for Forex. So I'm gonna assume what do you want me to look at right now in a pair of Forex?
USD and Mexican peso.
Mexican
That's
peso.
a lot of volatility in that.
Okay, and does it matter? You want me to do Wanda?
Doesn't make a difference to me.
Okay, so we'll look at that pair
Mm-hmm.
intraday. Okay, so right now intraday. So we're dealing with small moves here. 1903 to 1904. That might be a 1% move, right?
Okay. Right.
And then you got and then you got to add in all the leverage to get to that extra juice. So you'd have to put on, let's say, 10 times 10 times leverage to get what you're getting with the Bitcoin Cash in USD.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you got little moves here, but you know, there might be at best 1 or 2% without the leverage, which is pretty good. Let me think here. What else we got? I could look at British pound and the Swiss franc. That's what's moving right now. Intraday.
The Swiss franc, that'd be a good one.
Well, I see. You can see it
Let's
already.
see.
It's just going crazy.
Wow.
That's a defense play. So that's from 127 over. Well, that's a pretty nice move. That's yeah, that's as good as you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a nice move. But again, it's what are we talking? Maybe a percent. And then we got another one, British pound against the U.S. dollar. This is all Brexit trades. It probably has something to do with where the EU has extended the deadline to the end of January. So this is one of those predictable trades. Yeah, look at it. That's a massive movement right there.
Wow.
You know, a little volatile, but for a 5-day trade, hang on, 1 month trade, that looks pretty good. But again, that's 122 to 128, so that's, a couple hundred pips.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be considered good. And one last one I have here is pound against the yen.
I don't see that doing a whole lot. I just don't think so.
What's that?
I don't see it doing a whole lot.
No, but I'm just giving you what has moved in the last little while, so you can see that's moved.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
But again, it's not moving. I mean, that's pretty nice,
Mm-hmm.
But
one advantage in Forex is you can short it.
yeah, but
Yeah, that's the. Go ahead.
yeah. Let me just see what I have right now in U.S. dollar as opportunities. So how many opportunities did I show you right now?
You showed me about 4.
4. Okay, so let's do crypto based upon what I'm showing you. So that's all I have on my watch list right now.
Right.
But with crypto, I've got 11 pairs, and how many in U.S. dollars? So I only have 1 in U.S. dollar. Here's what we could look at. So let me look at Litecoin in U.S. dollar, because that you can definitely trade as a U.S. citizen. Um, let's see here. Okay. So, okay. So there you go. So it's moved from 56 all the way up to $60. So that's not quite, but it's close to a 10% move. And so from
That's
here,
beautiful.
59 to 62. So that's roughly maybe a 5% move.
Is there any correlation with this Litecoin dollar?
No,
Nothing. Okay.
no, but dude, that's just one part. Like I've got 10 more I can show you in Ethereum.
Yeah. Right.
You want me to show you?
Oh, please.
Okay, here we go. So we like now this is what I like trading in is in the Ethereum markets, but actually you might be able to trade this in Binance. So here we will look at intraday. And right now, from what I'm seeing, everything's kind of moved positive, but it's very volatile. So everything's kind of gone positive, but it was down earlier.
Uh huh.
So I have Stellar. Let's see this one, how that's doing. So 346 to 360. What's that? Roughly uh, 34, maybe a percent move. Let's see here. What else do I have? Uh, let me show you. Okay, Litecoin. Okay, let's look at BNB Ethereum. So you have a coder on the Forex side?
Either or.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go through this thing. I mean, I didn't really look at it a lot,
Yeah.
the Binance stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, if it's today, tomorrow, I'll go over it. I also talking to do my motive wave. I haven't done it yet,
Right.
so I'm gonna have that done too.
There's a lot going on, eh?
Yeah.
So here we're going from 07 to 014.
Yeah, that's about almost a 10.
Huh?
That's pretty good too.
Yep. BNB Ethereum, that's intraday. Another one, I don't know what the top movers are. Actually, I can tell you right now. IOTA. So if I show you this one in Binance, MyOTA, Ethereum, IOTA, IOTA, US dollar. Here we go. Bitfinex. Let me choose this one, Huobi. So this one's moving a lot right now. It's at 4.75. It's been up 10% in 24 hours. You can see that spike right there, eh?
Yes.
Yes, that's what you like to see. That's in itself. I mean, it's very volatile, but if you have a bot that can, I mean, I don't know what to say on that. Bitcoin Cash. Did I show Bitcoin Cash intraday?
I have it.
Oh, I thought I did. Cardano, Bitcoin Cash. I think we did. Yeah, you had three little intraday spikes. Come on. One day.
Yeah, that dip ain't gonna help you
Yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah. It's
But
it's
that's
gone up
cool.
264, 260 all the way up to 276.
Right.
Another one, Cardano, ADA, US dollar. This one is up 1.24%. And even on a down day, you're still going to get these longing opportunities. I checked it on Thursday when the Bitcoin dropped like $1,300. It was
Okay.
still it's still was able to make a little bit of money. So here, this is a 1 day, 41, Sorry, yeah, 42 all the way up to 45, 10%. A little
And the
spike right
commissions are
there.
cheaper too.
Huh?
Commissions are less, not
Yes,
expensive.
and you're getting much higher returns with no leverage.
It would be nice if you could use leverage in this thing.
No, it's not like that.
Yeah, I'm saying it would be nice on your win.
Sure, yeah. The real way to do that is just up your position size.
Right.
So Tron Ethereum. Sorry, that'd be TRX. This one can do pretty good.
With all these, you should. I mean, with all these different pairs, you should do a total sum of a day of 15 to 18%.
I figure you could do it. It's hard to say because I did a video. I don't know if you saw it, where I did an analysis on. It did get 4%, and then you what you got to do is you got to stop trading, right? Because you made 4%. But then if you keep over trading, you're going to lose that 4% you gain.
I understand.
So here you at 9, all the way up to 11.
Oh, it is. You think about what happened on Friday will make up for the rest of the week.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that doesn't happen a lot, but you could get 3 or 4 of those a week.
Oh my God, that would be beautiful.
Well, I just showed you one that got a 10% move. I've shown you three swings that you could be trading with Bitcoin Cash just today.
Today's only Monday.
Yeah, and today's not a very strong day. So if I look
now,
go ahead.
In all trading, like say with futures,
Yeah.
the same thing applies with the bid and ask when they start to drop below 6. You want to get into it for depending upon which way the buy or sell ratio is going.
I can't confirm that, but you would look at what Bloomberg would call the bid ask ratio, which is the same thing.
Right.
And technically, yes, but you won't get the spikes that you get like what I'm showing you right now.
Not okay about that. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I'm sure they exist.
That, so basically, you're saying with futures, I need that IQ fee. Period.
No, you could use the futures data, or sorry, the futures data from the broker.
Okay, okay, got you. Which is IB.
Yeah, whoever you go with.
Okay. You really don't get in. You don't really get into that in future stuff. I noticed.
Not yet, no, because you got to have some big account sizes to really trade it. Like to do one trade, you're probably going into a couple $100 just to make the trade. And the thing is, I would rather start small, like micro small, like in crypto. Build your bot, build the confidence, and then if assuming you can take that same data and trading logic and trading rules and apply that's from that bot and apply it to futures or options.
Well, this is so simple. It should take this developer no more than about. It's pretty straightforward when I'm looking at this.
Yeah.
And looking at the CCX, it shouldn't take it that long.
No, it doesn't, because it only took me maybe an hour to switch from Kraken to Binance, and then it only took me an hour and a half to swap out the exchanges. The trading logic stays the same, and then when I replaced to create a new bot for the Binance USD, that didn't take long at all. Maybe half an hour.
Okay.
To swap out from one broker to another.
I got you.
But when
now, besides Binance, which other one would you recommend?
What was that?
Besides Binance, which other one would you recommend?
I would have said Kraken, but like I said, the technology is really bad. The only one that's worthwhile going to, from what I'm seeing, is just Binance. Because they have the volume, they have the coin selection, and plus the commission fees is really low, and that's the key. Okay. Because if you went to Coinbase, you're going to pay 5 times more, and that will using the same bot, and it could be profitable. But if the commission fees are too high, you're not going to have a profitable bot.
Gotcha.
So this kind of bot seems to work okay. Like this bot has got about a 70. The lowest I've seen is 73% win ratio. Okay,
Okay.
and as long as you have that kind of win ratio, you can do well. But as I said, you can have a win ratio of 73%, but still lose money on the trading for the whole day because you're kind of over trading, and you might take a position that wipes out all your profit because of one bigger coin.
Yes.
And you can have that with Bitcoin for sure.
Got you.
And the only way to get around that is by setting a daily target. What kind of percent you want on your total rate total rate of return? And I'm figuring between 2 to 4% per trading session, and I'm going to have 3 trading sessions throughout the day. And the other big advantage with crypto is it's 7 days a week; it never closes.
That's true.
Okay, so if you got a winning bot, that's going to give you another 20% extra return that a Forex bot will not give you.
Sounds great to me.
Yeah, and it's go ahead.
No, nothing else. This sounds good to me.
Yeah, and I think Binance US looks good. It's much better than Kraken. The volumes are higher on Kraken, but what I'm seeing is people are picking up with Binance. And there was a news story a few weeks ago where the Binance US exchange is now getting coverage for insurance through the US.
Wow.
So do you have that with any Forex broker?
I don't think so.
Well, let me look for that story. That's another massive.
Yeah, we'll spike it up.
Huh?
That would spike it up. That news alone.
Yeah. Well, not a lot of people about it. So yeah, here you go. Adds FDIC insurance for U.S. deposits. So if that's the case, then that is probably. I mean, do you have FDIC on bank accounts in the U.S.?
Yes.
Okay, so here you go. So you have a Binance US account, okay, and it's going to be federally insured by the US regulators. And that came out like a week ago. That's huge, I think. That adds credibility to the exchange.
It could stabilize it. That's the only problem.
It destabilizes or stabilizes?
No, it could stabilize it where you won't get these swings of 10% moves a day.
Well, that's what you'd hope, because that's what they're hoping with this new exchange called Kraken, which is owned by the ICE, the same owners of New York Stock Exchange. So Kraken has been recording over the last few weeks, day by day, they're adding new records to the volume of Bitcoin. And that's what they're hoping will help stabilize Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin.
Okay.
So that's what they're trying to do with Kraken. That's what they're hoping to do. And the thing is that personally, I like the Ethereum market better because it's cheaper. It's the cost of doing things on Ethereum is much better, and the transfers are much faster too. And the commission fees to do a transfer on Ethereum is much lower. But like Kraken may start adding Ethereum as well.
Okay.
And if they do, then if you want my opinion, I would stick with Kraken, but in Ethereum because it's lower. That's what the institutions are doing because they're using this Kraken as the way to trade. I hope I got my names right. Okay, let me just check into this. It's like an oil play. What's the name of that? Futures. Bitcoin futures market. But this is where the institutions play. There is CME and this new one that has just gone live a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. And that's the big one that the ICE owns. Let me just see. Okay, but nobody's in the CBOE. But as long as the institutions are investing into the futures market with Bitcoin, over time it will stabilize the price. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the exchange. Does that help you out?
Yes, definitely.
Because yeah, I do think over time Bitcoin and overall crypto space will grow for a number of reasons because the markets outside the US want to get rid of the US dollar. And the other thing with Binance, they just added you can now trade in Nigerian naira and Russian ruble, like fiat currency. And Binance is the only exchange that I've seen that have been really going truly global. And
Okay.
they're very innovative. Like I haven't even shown the main site, but with Binance, if you're outside the U.S., you have a futures market, you have the exchange. They're getting into where you can borrow, and here, yeah, it looks like yeah. So you can do leverage in the futures market of Binance, and that's to compete
Wow.
against Bittrex, which has been sort of in trouble. Now I don't know what you can trade with Bitcoin with in the futures market with Binance. So there's a Binance futures market. They just added this in the summer. But yeah, you can add leverage, but in the futures market. So
Well, same rules apply. You lose your level two. You lose your um, buy and sell orders.
yep,
Okay, and your bid and ask,
I
right?
think
So
so.
then you
Yeah,
can.
yeah, I think
Hmm.
so. But you should do like are Americans allowed to trade in this exchange?
Can they or no?
That I don't know.
Oh,
Let's find out.
Binance futures.
Okay, so let me see. Can Binance futures support U.S. Customers? Blocks U.S. customers. So it looks like you can only go to Binance U.S. So yeah, yeah. It looks like I have to say no dice for you. But there's also
Okay.
Bittrex, which will take they'll take U.S. residents, and it's the same idea, and it's bigger. It's actually the biggest place to trade crypto in the world is on Bittrex.
Well, the commissions are very high, I would assume.
Uh, let's find out. And so it's the
Oh,
same
excuse me.
concept because that's Binance's response to Bittrex.
Hmm.
Let's see, commission. I think they're fairly low, and you can market make on this thing. Yeah, so it's a 1/4%.
That's not. That's pretty low.
That's pretty low, but the question is, depends upon what you're trading, what kind of bot you have. Because with my bot, I do know I have to trade with very low commission fee, so 0.1% is yeah, it can be done. Because the moves that when I put exits on are very small, and
Hmm.
that's why it has a high ratio of wins, and it will only be able to get around that when the fees are really low. But here, this I don't know, and this is a very limiting set of pairs that you can trade. Let me pull it up and see what you can trade on this thing. So if I go CCXT exchange Bittrex, I've shown you this trick, right?
Yeah.
So if you put in a fake symbol, it will list out the what's available on the exchange. So
Okay.
here's what you can trade on Bittrex. That's a pretty good selection, actually.
It is.
Wow. Hang on, did I?
So why don't do Bittrex and Kraken, Binance? Do them both
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you
because
could.
it's the same script. You use the CCTX and one
Yeah,
CCTX and other.
everything stays the same.
Same, right?
The only
Uh huh.
thing the only thing you're going to change is either the parameters or the trading rules. Everything else stays the same.
Wow, this is gonna be. So is this those two? No more?
Sorry.
Are there any more out there besides Bittrex and
Well, all you
for
got
no
to all
commissions?
if you really want to know what you can do is go to CoinMarketCap. And this is
Okay.
the other good thing I like about crypto is like everything's more transparent compared to proprietary forex brokers. So if you want to know, let's say the adjusted volume, not reported volume, this is
Hmm.
adjusted by CoinMarketCap. So here, a lot of these brokers I question, but Binance is up there at 2 billion a day. Okay, so let me see here if we can get we can we can get the ones over at okay, so we need a Bitcoin exchange. I don't know where Bittrex is. Bittrex volume may have dropped off, maybe, because normally it'd be up there. Yeah, it did. Wow, it fell off a lot. It's right here, number 86. So its volume has like shrunk.
What do you think happened?
Well, do you know Doctor Doom?
I've heard of them, but I don't know them.
Okay, I'll show you the story.
All right.
So there's Doctor Doom. I can't remember his name. Um, oh, what's his name?
From Star Trek.
No, no, no,
Not
no.
Star Trek. Star Wars.
I'm not sure, but I'll just look up shitcoin because uh, there was an argument between Doctor Doom and I forget his name. He's one of these leading economists in the world. Yeah, here you go. So Doctor Doom, Nouriel Rubini, called everything out there S coins, right?
Hmm.
So there was a debate between him versus the founder of Bittrex. This is in
Okay.
Bloomberg Asia, like in I don't know. So there was a dispute in this public forum between Bloomberg between the founder of this Bittrex and this Doctor Doom, right? So
Hmm.
then Doctor Doom saying, well, the regulator should step in and look at Bittrex. So Bittrex got looked at, or investigated is a better word. And what happened was there was questions. So here they're not regulated in the States, okay? So because of that, they were questioned about if they're legitimate, their volumes are legitimate, da da da, and then people started losing confidence in in Bittrex. So as
Okay.
a result, now looking at this volume, yeah, it's dropped off a lot. It's dropped off so much that yeah, you're better
Wow.
off just to stay on Binance.
So now the ones coming up in the top 20, let's say this.
Yeah,
Okay, we just look at those. What do you think?
a lot of them are scams because they're out of Asia.
Okay.
The only one out of that lot, like there was a report done where they said that Binance was the only the cleanest exchange.
Okay.
Let me just see if I can find that crypto
And
exchange.
the other one you mentioned was Binance and what else?
Binance and maybe Huobi. But that's Asian. You as an American, you can't trade through Huobi.
Okay,
I
so
could be
no
wrong on
Binance.
that. But this report was this was a professionally done. So yeah, they say that there's this wash trading. So there's accusations of illicit cash being sent over in these exchanges, and they do wash
Hmm.
trading. So they try to figure out which was the cleanest of the lot, and see here they're accusing Binance of wash trading as well.
Yes.
So I can't say yes or no on that because I don't know.
Okay.
But it's hard to say because there was a report that said that Binance was the cleanest of the lot as well as Kraken. But when you see reports like this, that makes you go, well, are they still doing wash trading within Binance? Now, I don't know. But on the other hand, for you as an American, I don't think Binance would go out of its way to set up an exchange in the U.S. and then fight to get insurance for account holders in the U.S.
I got you.
So that adds trust to the exchange of Binance U.S., which then goes back. If that's the case, then can you say that Binance is clean and trustworthy? And to me, that's saying out of anything I've seen, I would. Well, let me put it this way: with the conversation of Oanda versus Binance, I trust Binance way more than I trust Oanda.
Really?
And I say that because Oanda never answers questions. They'll give you a one-line answer. You're waiting for like 5 days to get an answer out of them. That's on the API support. And these are very legitimate questions. Whereas if you go into Binance and you look at the level of security that they added, so you add, let's say, or get an account in Binance. You first have to do your know your customer ID and all that, probably in the U.S. exchange. Then when you log in, you have this little puzzle. You have to kind of move around. That's layer one. Then what they want you to do is use this authenticator app from Google with your phone. So then it asks you, what's your code on your phone using authenticator, and it synchronizes when you log into Binance. So those have to sync up. So then when you go and you start doing things financially on your account in Binance, let's say withdrawal, transfer, whatever, you have to put in your code of this authenticator. And they also do 2FA as well, like with the phone as well, if that's what you want. You can set it up for that. But the thing is that there's probably 3-4 layers of security with your phone that you wouldn't get with Oanda that I've seen. And the other question is, I just find Oanda is really hard to work with. And I've had people years ago go in, they'll put in a trade with a stop loss and a take profit in the platform, let's say MetaTrader, and then they're doing well, and then all of a sudden they get kicked out of the trade when the price is about to hit the take profit.
Right.
And then it's consistently happening. And people get really,
Oanda?
they get really mad. Then they complain to Oanda when it says, well, it's just a technical glitch. And this is a theme of Oanda. And this is supposed to be one of the best brokers out there. And I've helped guide some folks to take on Oanda. And once it went to federal court, registered with the circuit court where they lived, Oanda said, okay, we'll settle, because they don't want that court case to go to court, because then they get looked at by the regulators, like the CFTC, and if they know that case is being processed through the courts, then they'll start putting extra heat on Oanda, and Oanda don't want that, so they'll settle with a customer before it goes to court. But they'll try to really ream the customer up until the very last minute. And they will not settle. They will not give you your full deposit and what's in the account. I mean, it's amazing. And this is in the U.S.
Wow.
This is about a year or 2 years ago. And I don't see how they're any better than they are now. Like they say on all their marketing that they're all transparent in that. I really question that. But with Binance, I don't know. I just feel a lot more confident with crypto versus Forex in that general regard. And then all the exchanges I've seen, I'm much more confident with Binance with any of them out there. Right now, I can tell you Huobi is another good one, potentially, because of their coin is doing well. But the other coin that's doing well is BNB, which is Binance, right?
Yes.
So just alone with that being in the U.S. for Binance, I think it's a good exchange to be with as compared to something like Kraken. I just haven't had really good experience with Kraken, and I've talked to many people that had the same thing, and they a few years ago they had a lot of problems with Kraken, and the thing was is they say, oh, we've improved, but yeah, I'm trying to put live orders in Kraken for the last couple of weeks, and it comes back saying some weird exception, and I went online. Actually, I maybe I can show it to you. And what they did was their response time on filling orders was like really slow, and that was what was causing the problem. And that was in the last 2 weeks, and that's when I said, screw it, I'm going to go to Binance and test them out, and I've never had a problem
Right.
because their technology is better. Let me see if I can find that story here on Kraken. And that was discovered on CCXT.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like Kraken or somewhere else you're going to be able to go out online and research that. But that was on, it was on. Here you go, this right here. Oh, this story. So that was the issue I had.
Well, I want to ask you, besides using Onanda, is there any other Forex brokers you would use here in the U.S.?
No, not for Python support. There is none. Oenda's it. And the only other one I got Ava hounding me on stuff, and it's like, I'm not sure if I really want to go with Forex because I don't trust these guys. There are some good brokers out there, like TrueTrade, that support Canada or that support U.S., but guess what? You need to have $10,000 US in your account to start with, and you're going to be on MetaTrader 5.
Okay.
There are options out there, but I mean, LMAX looks good too, but you probably need about 5 or 10,000. The only good brokers that I'm finding that are decent are the ones that want you to have 5 or 10,000. Not saying that I would trust them, but I trust them over all the other little, brokers that start with nothing or $20 or something. And Owenda's one of them.
Oh, okay.
But here's what this guy said of CCXT. He says lags are well known. On the Kraken side, most users report not only CCXT users, but most of Kraken users. And this is an exception I kept getting when I put in live trades. And you cannot trade like that.
Right.
So that's why I'm on Binance now.
This thing looks, man, I can't wait to go to watch the videos today. Just go over the videos, take notes.
Yeah, that's on the latest round on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through them.
Right, but this one here is the one out of anything in the last week or two. This is the big one. But then with what I told you earlier about getting a winning bot between me and you, that's the last big discovery last Thursday. And now, that's why I'm getting these larger win ratios. And then the next question is, how do you retain that profit? If you go in the elite stuff, I got all kinds of videos and private stuff on that.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, but I got to get rolling here. But that's why I like Binance, my man.
Okay. I'll just do that today.
Okay.
I really appreciate it, and thanks for your time.
No problem.
Okay.
And you have a good day.
Oh, you do the same.
Thanks, man.
Okay.
See ya.